So we're going to continue looking at linear programming, and today we're going to look at on how you can draw inequalities from a particular situation and on how you can draw the graphs of the same situation. So before you actually write your inequalities, it is important to take note of some of the words that are used in different situations. So the word like at least is used, in most of the situations. At least it is used, and at least means not less than. So at least means not less than, and the symbol that we use when you have at least in a particular situation, it is greater than or equal to. Then the other word that is used is more than. And more than, the symbol that we represent more than is greater than or equal to. Then the other words that are used is not more than. So not more than, and this means that it is less than or equal to. So these are some of the words that you come across. At least means not less than, and the symbol it means greater than or equal to. More than stands for greater than or equal to. Not more than stands for less than or equal to. So I'll give a particular situation here. So if you're a company that produces two types of boards, you produce white boards and black boards. So you produce two types of boards, white boards and black boards. And if we take into consideration that white boards will represent, so this will represent x, and the black boards will represent y. Let us write some of the inequalities from these particular situations. So the first situation, so if you are told that the number of white balls and the number of black balls altogether must be at least 20. So the number of white balls and the number of white balls altogether must be 20. So in that particular case, we know that white is x, we'll say, plus our black is y. And since we have at least, that's going to be greater than or equal to 20. So that's the particular situation where you have been given at least in a particular sentence or in a particular situation. And you can draw this inequality on your graph. So if this is the graph, you have x, y, and for this graph, first of all, we need to get our coordinates. So I'll make some tables of values. So I have x and y. So if I say x is 0, I don't know y, and if I say y is 0, I don't know x. So where there is x, if I replace here with 0, my y is going to be 20, and where there is y, if I replace here, my x is going to be 20. So if I'm told to draw this inequality on the graph, and shade the unwanted region so that I can show the wanted region, I'll draw it in this form. Since I know that I have the first coordinate is 0,20, the second coordinate is 20,0. So just drawing this roughly, this will be my 20. I also have my 20 here. Then I'll draw a line. Since this is 0,0, so I have, for the first one, I have 0,20, which is here. Then I also have 20,0, which is here. And if I want to shade the unwanted region to show where the wanted region is, we need to look at the symbol. The symbol here, it is greater than or equal to, and we know that if it is greater than or equal to, we shade the upper part, but we want to shade the unwanted region, so this will be the region that we're going to shade, and R here will represent the wanted region. So that's how you can write the inequality when you have at least in a particular situation. Let us look at if you have more than. So a particular situation where you have more than, it can be taking that the number of whiteboards produced must not be more than 10. So the number of whiteboards produced must be more than, we're considering more than the number of whiteboards produced must be more than 10. So since our whiteboards represent X, and we know that more than it's greater than or equal to be 10, and showing this on the graph, you can just draw a sketch. I have my Y, I have my X, then I have my 10 here. I have my 10, and here I'm going to draw X is equals to 10, which is this line. And if I'm told to draw, I'm told to shade the unwanted region so that I can indicate the wanted region, I need to consider the sign. The sign is greater than, and greater than means I'm supposed to shade on the right side. Since this is the wanted region, I'll shade the unwanted region, which is on the left side. So this means I've represented this inequality. Let us look at the situation when you have not more than. So for example, if you have been told that the numbers of whiteboards produced will be 2, so 2 whites will be produced and 4 blackboards will be produced, but the total number must not be more than, so the total number must not be more than 8. And you have been told to write the inequality from this particular situation. So we're going to do the same thing. So here I have 2 whites, so this means this is 2x plus 4y not more than, so this will be less than or equal to 8. And to draw that inequality on the graph, the first thing that I'm going to do is to get my points. So I can simplify this to x. if I divide by 2, I divide by 2, I divide by 2, I'll get x plus 2 into 4, I'll get 2y is less than or equal to 2 into 8, that's 4. And from here I can make a small table of values. So I have my x, I have my y, 0, 0. So if x here is 0, my y will be, so if here there is 0, that means I'll remain with 2y. So I'll divide by 2, I'll divide by 2. Then my y will be equal to 2. So this will be 2. Then if my y is 0 here, so that means 2 multiplied by 0 is going to be 0, and my x is going to be equal to 4. So this means that I have 0, 2. I also have 4, 0. And to represent this on the graph, so I need to represent it on the graph, and I need to shade the unwanted region. So the highest number here on the on the x-axis, I know it's 4. Then the highest number here, it's 2. So the first coordinate here, I have, first I put my y and my x here. So the first coordinate, I have 0, 2. So 0, 2, it's here. The second coordinate, I have 4, 0, which is here. So the line will be in this form. And since my sign here is less than, that means the region is on the bottom part, but I need to shade the unwanted region. This means I'll shade the upper part. So that's how you can write your inequalities and how you can draw the inequalities on the particular graphs. Where you have questions, you can ask in the group. Make sure you ask where you have questions. Now we are going to look at the question that came in 2011 for linear programming. I'll solve it, but after I'm done with this particular topic, I'll give you an assignment to answer other past papers on linear programming. So question 12a reads, a small scale farmer wishes to keep sheep and goats. Let x represent the number of sheep and y represent the number of goats. Then the question proceeds, write the inequalities which represent each of the following conditions. A, the number of sheep should not be more than 4. So let us read out the question again. A small scale farmer wishes to keep sheep and goat. So that's the first thing that you need to take note. So there is sheep, there is also goat and goats. Then the question proceeds, let x represent the number of sheep and y represent the number of goats. So x represents the number of sheep and y represents the number of goats. Now we can answer question A. The number of sheep should not be more than 4. So we know that sheep is represented by x. So say x should not be more than 4. So that is going to be less than or equal to 4. That's our first inequality. Let us look at B. So B reads, a goat feeds on 4 kg of food while a sheep feeds on 2 kg of food per day. The total amount of food should be at least 8 kg per day. So we have been told that the goat feeds on 4 kg of food. That's the first thing. So we're going to say, we'll say 4y, since the goat represents x. Then the question proceeds, while a sheep feeds on 2 kg of food, so I'll say plus 2x, since x represents the sheep's. Then the question proceeds further, the total amount of food should be at least 8 kg per day. So at least means that not less than. So this will be greater than or equal to 8. So that's our second inequality. Then let us look at the other inequality, which is C. The number of sheep should be more than the number of goats. So the number of sheep should be more than the number of goats. So that is C. The number of sheep, which is x, should be more than the number of goats. So that is going to be greater than or equal to y, and you can write it in this form, y is less than or equal to x. So that means that we have answered Roman numeral 1, A, B, and C. Let us look at Roman numeral 2. Roman numeral 2 reads, using a scale of 2 cm to represent 1 unit on both axes, draw the x and y axes for which x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 5, and y is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 5, and shade the unwanted region to indicate clearly the region where the solution of the inequalities lies. So we need to shade the unwanted region. And considering these inequalities that we have written, we have 3, we have x is less than or equal to 4, then we also have 4y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 8. So for this one we need to write some of the coordinates, but these two, A and C, can just be drawn. So let us find the coordinates that we are going to plot. So for B, which is 4y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 8. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to replace this with an equal sign. So I'll say 4y plus 2x is equal to 8, and we can observe from here that we can divide by 2 in all the numbers. So I'll say divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, and the reason why I'm dividing by 2, I'm trying to simplify this. So 4 into 2, 2 into 4, that's 2y, plus 2 into 2, that's x, is equals to 2 into 8, that's 4. Then let us write this as a small table. So I have my x, I have my y. So if x is 0, I don't know y, and if y is 0, I don't know x. So if we replace here where there is x 0, so we say 2y plus x is equals to 4. When we replace with 0 here, we're going to have 2y plus 0 is equals to 4. That means we're going to have 2y is equal to 4 divided by 2 divided by 2. Y is equal to 4 divided by 2, that's 2. So I'll have a 2 here. Then where y is equals to 0, let us find x. So I have 2y plus x is equals to 4. 2 multiplied by 0 plus x is equals to 4. So you have 0 plus x is equals to 4. So I have x is equals to 4. So I have these two coordinates 0, 2. I also have 4, 0. And since we have these coordinates, we can now plot our graph. So as you can see from the graph, I've already written the x-axis and the y-axis, and we have been told that 1 unit must represent 2 centimeters. And for the x-axis, it says x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 5. So I've drawn my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've also done the same to the y-axis. So the first inequality that I'm going to write is x is less than or equal to 4. So before I write x is less than or equal to 4, I know that x is equals to 4, it is this line. So as you can see from the graph, that is x is equals to 4. But we have the inequality which says x is less than or equal to 4, and we know that less than or equal to 4, that is on the left side. And since in the question we have been told to shade the unwanted region, so that means that we are going to shade on the right side. So that represents x is less than or equal to 4. Let us go to the next inequality, which is 4y plus which is 2y plus x is greater than or equal to 8. And we had found some of the coordinates. So the first coordinate was 0, 2, and the second coordinate was 4, 0. So to write that inequality, I'm going to write it that inequality on this graph. I'll write it in this way. So as you can see, I've written my second inequality, which is 2y plus x is greater than or equal to 4. So, and since we have greater than or equal to, that means that we were supposed to shade on the upper part, but we are supposed to shade the opposite side, and that means we're going to shade below. So that's our second inequality, which is 4y plus 2x is greater than or equal to 8. Let us look at the third and the final inequality, which is y is less than or equal to x. So this can be drawn in this form. And the other inequality is y is less than or equal to x, which I've just drawn this line. And since we have less than or equal to, that means it is on the bottom part. So to shade the unwanted region, we're going to shade on the upper part. And you can and as you can see, region X represents the unshaded region, and that's where our solutions lie. Where you have questions, you can ask in the group. Thank you. So at Just Production, we provide the following services. We sell some past papers with answers. And the past papers that we have 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020. And these past papers, you can get them at both hard copy and soft copy. For the soft copies, they are only going at 20 kwacha per paper. So that means if you want paper 1 for 2020, you just pay a 20 kwacha. And after you pay 20 kwacha using Airtel or MTN mobile money, we're going to send it on WhatsApp. Then if you want a hard copy, it is free delivery within Mandef constituency, or we can deliver in town, we can meet in town, and I can give you that hard copy. Then the other service that we provide are just productions that we provide online tuitions. And for the online tuitions, we provide subjects like physics, chemistry, math, and biology. And the price is only 100 kwacha per subject. And for instance, if you want to be learning mathematics, you just pay 100 kwacha, and you are going to be added to a WhatsApp group. And in those WhatsApp group, we actually post videos on a particular topic, and where you have questions, you can ask in the group. So that's how the online tuitions work. So it's 100 kwacha per month, and that's per subject. Then we also sell some books. We sell books for all the grades from grade 10 to grade 12. And these books include for physics, chemistry, math, and biology. And the price is only 10 kwacha per subject, and that's soft copy. And for the hard copies, it's only 25 kwacha. So for further information, you can call me or text me on the number that is showing on the screen, which is 0973023620. Peace. God bless you. The full topic of current electricity is available, and it's only going for sale at 10 kwacha. And after you make a payment using Airtel or MTN mobile money, I'm going to send the video on WhatsApp, and this video includes the following: electrical symbols, current, quantity of charge, direction of current, potential difference, electromotive force, electrical energy, power, electrical resistance, the circuit, series connection, parallel connection, cost of electricity, the 3-pin plug, the fuse.